have to know, I came here for the first time in 1966, already with a Ford GT40 in a team called Skip Scott Racing Team SX Wire. So that was my first experience, and I think I was 21. So I was fairly young, considering that motor racing was reserved for people of experience. And then practically I came non-stop here for different reasons. For the race itself, a number of times. After I came back because I was commentating TV, or once I was even the clerk of the course. For many good reasons to come. You have to realize that when you get older, frankly, I believe the human aspect is the number one reason. Although that Le Mans has been really exceptionally kind with me, because you're ready to sign up for one win at Le Mans. It's happened that I won 6. I won 6 because I was surrounded by very talented people who produced the right car to win that race. And drivers winning at Le Mans, like Tom Christensen, for example, who now has won 9 times, who will be for sure an unbeatable record, because winning 9 times or winning 6 times or 4, it's like having a game at the casino and you win 6 times in a row the same number. So the motivation, frankly, it's certain options, occasions, but at the end, it's the pleasure to see a number of people you see once a year, and that's why I say the human aspect. Today, Le Mans, as an organization, it's much more friendly in my point of view than it was some years ago. They have understood that yes, it's a business, motor racing, but also you have to be respectful to your customer and your clients, and you have to treat them as guests. So there are plenty of memories everywhere, all sorts of memories, good ones, less good ones, but it's really a legendary place. And the miracle in the way is that through all these years, from 1923, I don't remember exactly what it was, but you found people to organize Le Mans and to keep the tradition going. They assume the perennity of the event, and frankly, it's fantastic. You know what you have to understand? It's not specific, especially specific for the drivers. You're speaking about a special time where motor racing was different than it is today. I can explain you why. The motivation for drivers, it's not a problem to drive all sorts of cars. Provide you can enjoy driving, provide you can win, definitely you can drive all sorts of cars. And it's not specific to me, but in my time, all the talented and the so-called great drivers were doing saloon car racing, long distance racing, Formula One, prototype, everything was possible. Simply because the rules were different. In those days, we were freelance professionals in a way. That means there were no thoughts of exclusivity in motor racing. I was able to drive for Ferrari in Formula One and drive for Ford in long distance. And that was also existing because the sponsoring thought was not existing. Today, the problem of the driver, it's not that they have the skill has changed. They can drive everything they want. But they are trapped into a contract who keep them either exclusively for a brand or either exclusively for a sponsor. So that type of era will never come back. It doesn't mean it was better in our time. I'm sure the people enjoy it very much today in motor racing as well. The style was different, but at the end the result, as far as successes are concerned, you can only get a goal once a year into a category. People like me who have won, I don't know, 48 long distance race, Grand Prix racing, Paris-Dakar, the Can-Am, will not exist anymore, simply because you're not allowed to do that anymore in this contemporary era. Well, there is another reason today. Le Mans or long distance racing, it's not an endurance race anymore. It's a Grand Prix. To win Le Mans, you need to go on a series of Grand Prix following each other. And the one who wins, of course, he needs a good car, but it needs the shortest time in the pits. In my days, you had to save the car before everything. There were no possibilities of reproducing Le Mans on a simulator or whatever. You had to go to Paul Ricard in the 80s, but before there were no possible tests anywhere. The test was here, and you had to feel it was possible to do the distance. So you have to be gentle sometimes with the gearbox or the clutch or the engine, because it was totally unpredictable to know if you could reach the end. It's becoming a kind of dream, huh? Because it's always very emotional. You win or you're part of the winner of one of the most unique races like Indianapolis or the Grand Prix of Monaco. But you have to keep the result of a driver, the way you are or the way you are becoming, is the result of the quality of the people surrounding you. To translate that, it means you need to be in the right car, and for that right car, there are a lot of people working on a project to win Le Mans or to be successful. These people you never see, but they are making the result of every individual racing into it. Of course, you need a co-driver and so on. What I'm trying to explain that when you have a good car, most of the job has been done already. You just have to finish the work. No, because they are all excellent. Mainly we have amateur here, few professional, yes, but they do well, and you have to go flat out. It's not the same philosophy anymore. But of course you have to face all the conditions you have in Le Mans, by night, by fog, by raining days. It's an effort, but you are 3 drivers to do it. We were only 2 in those days, without any kind of assistance for the vehicle. So it was also physically demanding. When I think it's a privilege to drive, as well it's a privilege to drive for Ferrari in Formula 1, or with the Ford in the early days, or many other brands. To stay 10 years with Porsche is it's a guarantee of success. That's one of the reasons I have won so many long distance races, counting for the Make Championship. I think altogether I won maybe 47 or 48 long distance races. I think probably I am the one who won the largest number of races. It's due to the fact that the timing puts you in the right place at the right moment. And if you do well, you keep going every year. And at the same time, it's not a guarantee of winning only. It's also an insurance against technical problems. Chassis failure or suspension failure or losing a wheel. It's also a very good insurance. So it's a privilege. The difference between drivers, honestly, it depends where you are, if you are there at the right moment or not. I've been very privileged on that aspect, and I'm grateful to those people you never saw who made it possible, because I'm the result of them. I think it's too different. Racing is too different. I should have called racing pre-Second War, the Stone Age. But the Stone Age starts with automobile in reality. When you start Le Mans in 1923 or the ACF Grand Prix in 1906, it was really the Stone Age, and it remained the Stone Age a long time. Now we are on another planet. Electronic, digital system. We live something totally different.